What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Just wanted missed your beautiful faces. Also, just want to put out a chiller video. Also because I'm gonna be streaming today. Boom! So this will be posted at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means 2 hours from now I will be streaming the new set. I'll have access to all the cards and a bajillion golden gems. We can do whatever we want, right? So I just want to walk you guys through some of the decks you can expect. I have 20 decks here already for the new format that I've been brewing up. We'll just take a look at the ones that I'm like most excited for and most curious about. And these are all on my profile if you go to Aether Hub. Same name as my YouTube channel, so yeah, give it a look. But otherwise, we'll just go through the decks and we'll talk about what I'm excited to test, like some decisions I made, and some not grievances, reservations I have for some of the decks or decisions, and then just open the floor to you guys. If you have any ideas of what would make the decks better, what would be better to test, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just walk you through it. First, we got down here, we got Winota. Let's do visual. That's probably better. Boom. Winota is one that I'm super excited for. They still have the old art, but she's the human who, when a non-human attacks, you look at the top 6 cards of your deck and put a human into play. So the biggest problem I found is there's not a ton of like super high impact humans, which is probably how this is balanced. But I'm thinking there's plenty of ways I want to test this, and the problem I found with Aether Hub is when building the decks, it's not really a great way to find the new cards. It's a good way to like put an idea on paper. But I found that the arena deck builder is much easier for me to like explore new ideas. So I'm thinking maybe this is better with like an Esper build or like a Jeskai build, maybe a Naya build for things like Grumgully and stuff like that. I don't know. So I'm pretty much looking at just to see how much of a feels bad she is. But there's a ton of cards that you don't expect to be like non-human, right? So first of all, the whole idea of the deck is obviously cheap non-human cards, which then trigger and put in expensive humans into play. And what's also interesting is human cards that make non-human creatures. So we got some overlap here, right? So we got Fairy Guide Mothers and Immolation Shaman. Just want to try him as a one of, I don't know, man. Is like our lower cost non-humans. But then you have some fun stuff like Tide Taker, who when he dies makes a non-human. So then you can attack and get back another Tide Taker or something. That's pretty cool. Raise the Alarm is pretty crazy because they're white soldiers. They're not human soldiers. So, you know, if you go like Fairy Guide Mother turn 1, Raise the Alarm turn 2, Legion Warboss turn 3, Winota turn 4, like, that's a stupid curve. So that's kind of what I'm looking to see. If the deck can even function without her, and then if with her, it's worth it. And then we just got some more high impact humans, like Tajik's pretty good, Terranika's pretty good, Master Splicer makes a non-human 4/4, so that's kind of cool, right? Haktos is just something I wanted to try out. Maybe it'll be good in this format, I don't know, man. And then just one Inspiring Captain as a way to pump, because we have a lot of tokens and ways to go wide. Oh, Inspiring Commander too. I noticed a lot of my creatures fell into this, so Master Splicer, is it any creature? Yeah. Raise the Alarm, Shaman, Tide Taker, Fairy Guide Mother, Legion Warboss, and the Warboss tokens. So I thought I'd try giving this guy a go. I don't know, that would be kind of funny. But yeah, worried mostly about the... Oh yeah, these are the other versions. Seraph the Scales would be neat. Illyrios is kind of cool for the Jeskai version. But Mana Base might be rough. The only one that's going to be hard to cast, though, is Terranika or Haktos. And they're 2 ofs each, so that's kind of fine. But yeah, kind of feel like I'm going to go more Jeskai or Naya in the future. But just want to see if she's actually, like, plays well, you know? But the other one we're looking for... Come on, dude. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Obviously, Song Creation is a big deal. So we're going to have a couple different builds of those. So Song Creation is the one that lets you drop a bajillion cards and makes you discard your hand. So I'm thinking, okay, what's the easiest? Win cons are what I'm worried about, right? Can you win the game before you mill yourself? And that's what I want to be able to test. So you have a ton of stuff that works well from the graveyard, like Radical Ideas, a Maximize Altitude, so that you can give your Riels or your Crackling Drake, well, he already has flying. Your Riel's flying to hit in. It's a cheap way to like draw a ton of cards too from the yard. And then we have one Gravitic Punch for Riel and Crackling Drake. Just hit our opponent for like 40. Yeah, not 40. It's probably like 17 or something. I don't know. The thing I'm most excited for with testing this is one that really... Ooh, Omniseize as another win condition. Because with song creation, if you can have things that can stay on the battlefield, that'll win you the game that way. I think that's more powerful than just hoping to like hit a spell and then just storm off from there. You know, you have things like jump starts or escape creatures to help mitigate the scariness of, you know, just drawing a land for the turn. But I'm thinking worst case scenario of like, what if they kill this end of turn 4, you know, or something like that. And that's where Riel comes in, where you could at least still have a hand at the end of the turn. So if you can curve her into song creation, that's kind of cool. But yeah, then you just have ways to punch out your opponent. Once you get through your deck, you have a way to protect yourself from dying to mill. And you have some Niv Mizzets to kill your opponent when you're drawing like 10 cards a turn. So pretty neat. Also just curious about Omnises, if it's even any good. And I feel like if you can't make it work in this shell, we're drawing a bajillion cards, maybe not worth it. So this is just a way to test. You'll find with a lot of these decks, I'm just testing as many of the new cards as possible in their most extreme environment to then see if, maybe if we like pull it back a bit and like tune it, maybe it can work. So this is one version of the Song Creation deck, kind of more reserved. And then you got ones like then you got ones like this one, right? Where you're pairing 1,000-Year Storm with Song of Creation, so that you get a ton of spells into your hand, and then when you cast them, you draw more spells and they copy. So you're probably trying to win with things like Shock or Bonecrusher Giant. Or Mythos of Illuna. I think it'd just be so much fun. Shout out to anyone in Caleb Gannon's Discord, my brother. Also a content creator. Check him out on YouTube. Caleb Gannon. They gave me an idea for Mythos. And then one of Underworld Breach, so that, you know, if you draw it while you're going off, things like Rosethorn Acolyte will net you mana with 1,000-Year Storm. So I think that's pretty cool. Because, you know, you're going to hit... It's already turn 6 when you have this, so if you play a Radical Idea from the yard and draw 3 cards, and one of them's a Radical or Breach, you can play this, 2 mana left over, Rosethorn Acolyte, then you're just going off at that point. Storm's Wrath will help you get the Acolytes in the graveyard to bring back with Underworld Breach and just keep you alive. But yeah, I think just copying a ton of opponents of permanence could be super powerful as well. But yeah, this is more of a all-in type of game plan than the other one. Super excited for the Triomes though. So pretty, so useful. So there's the Song Creation ones. There's a couple other ones you could do with like Uros and stuff like that in Thassa's Elemental. That's the one I'll probably try as well. The other ones I'm excited for, I mean, obviously Team or Mutate is one. I'm trying to figure out what use Red has, because the way I'm looking at it, like the biggest cards that are most important to me, I think, are Trumpeting Gnar. Parcel Beast could be good. If it gets cut, we'll have probably more Migratory Greathorns. Again, the name of the game is Grazer into either like a Trumpeting Gnar, Parcel Beast, or Greathorn. Seems like the way to win the game, or Gem Razor, really. And then trying to see how often you cast a Luna on its own, because right now it's just her and Luca are like the only reasons. Obviously, if I'm going all in Standard, I'll probably play Nissa over Vivian, but I just want to test the card out. That's what this format's for. This day's for, to test the new cards rather than just playing the old boring stuff. Krasis seems important to me because Mutate onto Krasis just seems disgusting. So yeah, wondering if I should just go Simic and then only Mutate Luna, or if we should go Teamer, and if there's other red cards I should be paying attention to. But yeah, mainly looking to see if Parcel Beast is good. Trumpeting Gnar seems like a slam dunk to me. We'll be testing that too. Or if Uro even fits in that deck, you know? He's kind of awkward to Mutate, but he's just disgusting, so... And then we got some other fun janky combo brews like Garuda. Garuda? I don't know, man. I never know. But we got her as the companion. Him, her, it, they, them, whatever. We're hoping to see how much we can push like a combo kill, right? So we could play her, flip over. Ideally, play her, flip over, like, I don't know, Spark Double. Clone it, flip over another one. Clone it, flip over the third one. Clone it, Spark Double, clone it. Charming Prince or Thassa, blink it, end of turn. And then we're down to like, 20 cards left or something like that. And then we just, hopefully can either play a Jace or hit a Thassa's Oracle in the last 1 or 2. It's kind of ambitious, but we'll see. But if you have like hit a Thassa and then a Garuda, copy it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's already going to be a devotion of 7. So if you can get your devotion even like decently high, you'll be looking at some neat stuff. I went Simic, or Bant really, but I added the green for the ramp, because really we're just trying to hit her and then just try to combo out. There's 3 here because we got 1 on the sideboard as a companion. Yeah, don't think it'll be tier 1, but if we could even just pull it off once, I think it'll be super fun. Super fun. My one lamentation is that Yarok is an odd converted mana cost, otherwise I think that'd be a slam dunk. And then we got the deck that I think is going to be most popular, which is Mardu Aristocrats. Because Luminous Broodmoth plus Witch's Oven, Mayhem Devil stuff is just stupid, or Woe Strider is stupid. Got 1 Call of the Death Dweller, because I want to see how legit it is to like really just try to bring back Mayhem Devil, because this gives it Death Touch. Getting Mayhem Devil Death Touch seems like a slam dunk. But it could just be like a win more type card. That's the one. So don't know if that's the thing. Whether or not Bastion of Remembrances get in the deck, and then whether you want to play Hunted Witness or that other hybrid cost 1 mana 1/1 that when it dies ping something for 1. Don't know which one of those will be better. With Cruel Celebrant, I have a feeling Hunted Witness will be better, because this type of deck you're just kind of burning out your opponent. Because I mean, when you have Broodmoth and a Woe Strider and an Oven and a Familiar, which, you know, Oven and Familiar is just something you always have pretty much with this deck. So Broodmoth and Woe Strider, that's like a lot of damage. You sack the Familiar to Woe Strider, that's 1 damage. Then you sack it to the Oven, and then you bring it back, that's another damage. Then sack it to Woe Strider, that's 3 damage. If you have Cruel Celebrant or Mayhem Devil, it's 6 damage right there. Like, that's just stupid. So yeah, seeing if Priest of Forgotten Gods has a place in here, how many Broodmoths you want, testing out the mana, because we only have 1 red card, so I think with this guy and like some Blood Crypts, you're probably good to go. But yeah, I think this will be one of the most played decks. It'll just be a matter of tuning it, because Broodmoth and this stuff is obviously sick. So we'll definitely be testing that one. Here's a more niche one we're looking at. I saw it on, gosh, where did I see it? I think it was on Noxious, Professor Nox, his comment section. I don't know, but there's a Vannifar, Soul Diviner combo with Luminous Broodmoth, Soul Diviner, and any sort of High-X Tower Scout or Corridor Monitor cards where they untap when they enter. So how it works is you have Soul Diviner out, one of these guys, Broodmoth, and Woe Strider. Woe Strider sacks the monitor, it comes back, and you put it on the stack to untap Soul Diviner. In response, Soul Diviner removes the flying counter from the monitor. You draw a card, this untaps the Soul Diviner, so then you can sack it again, get the monitor back, untap Soul Diviner in response takes the counter off. So then Broodmoth lets it come back, and then you just deck yourself. You get some Thassa's Oracles out there and stuff. So yeah, seems like it fits pretty neat in a Vannifar show, because then you can fetch up pretty much any of the pieces, and you get to go up super quick. Like, let's say you know, Arboreal Grazer, play Vannifar, and then sack, untap for Corridor Monitor, and then you have either Soul Diviner and Woe Strider out, or Luminous Broodmoth just lets you go up the chain, and then actually, you sack Corridor Monitor, get your Woe Strider, Corridor Monitor enters the battlefield, then you can sack Woe Strider for, I don't know, another Broodmoth or something, I don't know, whatever you want. It just seems like a neat combo with a lot of ways to take advantage of Luminous Broodmoth and Vannifar's interaction, as well as just having a really janky combo for the fun of it. It'll probably be better as just oh, you also have Cruel Celebrant as a win con too, if you already got rid of your Thassa's Oracles or something. Yeah, Mana's going to be interesting in a 6-color deck, but yeah, this is the type of jank that we look for around here. Alright, what else we got? We got Sultai Mutate, which I think will actually be better than Teamer, because it has just more stuff to take advantage of it. So, for instance, Pelucranos, really disgusting with, I don't know, anything like Brokos. I mean, you just make it a 6/6 plus whatever counters it has. It fights its way down through all the counters, and then you can just, usually the downside for that is that, oh no, you fight like a 3/3 and a 2/2 and you're left with a 1/1. Well, if you mutate onto it, then you just get to fight, you know, if you have Brokos, fight 5 power with the dudes every turn. That's pretty disgusting. And then, you know, we still have Krasis to mutate onto. I was also testing to see Emergent Ultimatum. This might not be the deck for it, but I want to try it. Because if you can go Emergent Ultimatum, get a Mythos, an Agent of Treachery, and then something like a Nissa. That seems like a pretty powerful series of cards to get. But even then, I'm not super, like, I just don't think that's good enough to put it in the deck. I think Mythos could be pretty freaking decent. It's like it's a tutor 2-for-1, man. Like, that's pretty messed up. And my entire deck, except for the Mythos and the Ultimatum, is is permanents. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, just things like, man, Dirgebat, or there's even Boneyard Lurker. Boneyard Lurker and Brokos is pretty sick for just ridiculous amounts of value. I think Brokos is just going to be really good with all these other payoffs. He really allows you to just play them as creatures, and then you have a guaranteed mutate dude to put onto them for decent value. And then if they wipe the board or something, you can just bring them back on the next thing. They also all work really well with Nissa lands. So really what I'm testing here is how powerful Brokos is, how many you want, if Parcel Beast is worth it, if Trumpeting Gnar is worth it, how many Dirgebat you want to run, and then if Mythos and Emergent Ultimatum are worth putting in a permanent heavy deck. So I think that one's going to be super fun. And then we got Mono Blue Flash is like I don't think the Flash decks will be fun, but I'll put them up here in case you want to see the deck list. Pretty much curious to see, in Mono Blue I think Great Shark is going to be really important to put a clock on the opponent, and it's just like another tempo slash, you know, to replace Frilled Mystic, and it doesn't have the clock of like Nightpack Ambusher, stuff like that. Also seeing if Keep Safe is good, and I'm not actually super impressed with Nightbonder. Like a sideboard card, sure. But I think I really only like it with the Sea Dash Octopus is obviously a win. It just doesn't have evasion, so we'll see how important that is. But the reduced mana cost seems most important to me in that deck. And then as a sideboard card, the non-counterable stuff. But in Dimir Flash, I think the addition of Slitherwisp makes... I guess I'm not even playing it in this deck. I wasn't even good enough for this deck. I forgot about that. But that would be a reason to play it. I put it in the maybe board just as another flash spell. But you already have so many. People are down on this. That's what I want to test with this. I think it's amazing as long as you don't just play it on turn 3 into like 2 open mana or something. I think Dimir is much better because it has Dirgebat and Heartless Act 2, which are really good ways to maintain tempo. And yeah, Slitherwisp is just ridiculous as both a clock and card advantage in a deck where like almost everything is flash. So yeah, I think that's a no-brainer, but that's what I want to test because a lot of people are saying the opposite. I'm like, why though? And then we got Jeskai. I feel like Jeskai control can be a thing, but the cards I want to test out, obviously Yadaro. I see everyone super excited for him, so I want to get him out there. Narset, I see some people split. I'm not super impressed with her, but who knows, man? She's pretty cool to be able to, you know, discard a Yadaro to her and then play Elspeth Conquers Death. You know, that works as a curve. Play her plus, and then next turn -2 him, Elspeth Conquers Death. Boom. Get back a Yadaro. That's pretty cool. And also on Versus Live I saw him test this, but that was before Unpredictable Cyclone was out there. And when Yadaro's your only creature, that seems pretty cool, right? And then also leaves him in the graveyard. Well, no. No, he's still got shuffled in. Cool. Inspired Ultimatum, I wasn't impressed with. A lot of people were going off on, but I think if you're in it for the life gain, there's better ways to gain life. And if you're in it for the card draw, Expansion Explosion is just better all around. It's the Krasis effect, right? This effectively to me is like, if I saw Hadri Krasis and it didn't gain you life, I would probably still play it over a 6 mana 4/4, draw 2, gain 2 life. And I feel like this is just a locked in Krasis in that analogy. So, you know, we'll see. I want to test it. What's Teferi might be pretty decent. But then just seeing if Cycle's is really the way you want to go, with Zenith Flare holds any weight, whether you want to go Scorching Dragonfire or Blitz of the Thunder Raptor. Who knows, man? Shark Typhoon looks like a slam dunk to me, but so we're going to put that in there. But just figuring out whether cycling is actually where you want to be or if it's a trap. Maybe need to go more combo with Unpredictable Cyclone. Who knows, man? Next we got a deck I'm super excited for. So there's one deck that already proved its mettle, which is 5-color Niv, right? But then we got Gigantho over here as their sideboard card. And with all these new ultimatums, I feel like I kind of want to take the deck a more Fey Wishes type of route. So you can already go fires. We're 5 colors, so we, can cast these things. Giganta only needs your main deck cards to cost 1 single pip of mana. So we can put all of them in the sideboard over here. The one thing we took out of the main was Time Wipe. We used to have 2 Time Wipe in the main because it's so good with stuff like Niv or Krasis. But we replaced it with like Solar Blaze, and then we still have the 4 Clarions. And yeah, so I feel like this will be maybe more fun, but possibly less optimized build, but definitely more powerful in the long game if you can keep your fires going. So super excited for all these ultimatums. I'm gonna love casting all this nonsense. And Gigantha's just a win, man. So I think the debate in this deck will be whether you go this route or the what's his face, like the Niv Reborn route, or the Artifact, who you could pay Golos, there it is, or the Golos route. Probably be testing both of those with Gigantha for obvious reasons. I love me 5 color decks, and the Tri-lands are a huge boon to that deck. And the next we got deck I'm excited for. Don't know how well it's gonna work at all though. Jeskai Spells. So you're taking advantage of stuff like Vadrock and Sprite Dragon to get a mixture of both creatures to mutate onto. This is where the deck building is going to be difficult and require a lot of testing. You need to have a mixture of creatures to mutate onto and non-creature spells to trigger your mutate effects, your Sprite Dragons, and just, Whirlwind of Thought, all that sort of stuff. So seeing if Whirlwind of Thought is good enough for the deck or if it's too slow. Seeing whether or not stuff like Dovin is good because he's a non-creature spell you can get back with Vadrock, but he's also makes 1/1s that Vadrock can then mutate onto, and Lordrakis. Whether Gideon is a good enough Planeswalker. Pretty much just testing the 3-mana Planeswalkers with Vadrock, see which ones are powerful enough, which ones aren't. I think adventure creatures are a slam dunk as both spells and creatures that are all non-human, so you can mutate onto them. Whether Lordrakis is even playable in this deck. If Winged Words is good enough. I noticed pretty much every creature in this deck. Okay, except for Bone Crusher and Lordrakis. They all have flying. Even the tokens Dovin makes and stuff, So that seems pretty good. But yeah, I just think Sprite Dragon into Teferi, into Whirlwind of Thought, into Elspeth Conquers Death. That seems pretty cool to me. So just wanted to try it out. See if Jeskai's better or if you need to go blue-red. So we're really seeing if the white spells are worth it, or if the mana can sustain it, or if Vadrock's even worth it. Alright, then we got our Nethroi decks. I love me some Reanimator decks. So wasn't really sure where to go with these. Whether I need to go Cavalier Thorns and just bringing it back from the graveyard type style. Or if, I just go super Aristocrats and just play him as a top end with stuff like Fiend Artisan. You have Order Midnights to get it back from the graveyard from a Cavalier Thorns. I love Cavalier Thorns because it gets back him. But then I want more powerful stuff with ETB triggers for when you bring him back. So that's why I have stuff like Cavalier Knight, Pelucranos, even Grazers. So that's where I'm kind of seeing whether, do I want to be playing Plaguecrafters, or do I want to be playing Dirge Bats, or should I be playing Chevils, or should I be playing, more Migratory Greathorns? What's the balance between mutate payoffs to, mutate onto him, just playing him out? Should I go straight Golgari with no white sources? I have 4 white sources, because, he's the only Abzan spells in the deck. Should I go full Abzan? Should I mutate? Should I go Aristocrats? Or should I just go spells that are good when they're on the battlefield with low power and toughness? Like Pelucranos and Cheville and Fiend Artisan. So that's the thing. There's a lot of interesting deck building space to explore. And so the first one I'm going with is just straight Golgari with half ETB, half mutate to be able to play him out to mutate onto him. Don't think it's optimized at all, but I think it'll be fun. And then we got another Nethroi deck where I'm just going balls to the wall. So it's Sultai, but because you don't need the white source to mutate with Nethroi, right? And then we got Umori as a companion. It was just a freebie because we have so many creatures. But the big thing is Yarok has low power, right? And then you got cool stuff like Spark Double with 0 power. Agent of Treachery is only 2 power. So this is the deck Grazer, Leafkin Druid, Risen Reef's a 1/1. This is the deck where I think Netherite actually going off will be the most powerful. Because, you know, you just play turn 5 Cavalier Thorns, hit a land, so now you have 6 lands, and then you mill over a ton of cards. They already swept the board once. You have a Risen Reef and a Grazer and a Parcel Beast and a Spark Double in the yard. Maybe you flipped over a Yarok, and then you just put a Netheroi on something. You get back a Yarok, 2 Spark Doubles for free, a Pluganos for free, an Agent of Treachery. So you get like double Yarok, Agent of Treachery, triple trigger, like, whoo. And then you get all your Risen Reef triggers. Like, come on, man. Come on. This is just begging to be made, and I'll absolutely play it. And then Ikoria is just a fun 1-drop that's free, so seems lovely. Most excited for that one, to be honest. And then we got Ikoria. I don't think this is an optimized deck building restriction. I do kind of see myself playing like 1 or 2 of this in just like a blink deck, because it's so powerful. You get to get blink triggers on everything you own. And so, you know, just blinking Omen of the Sea, Charming Prince, Fibblethip, an Elite Guard Mage, and, dude, even Elspeth Conquers Death, because it triggers permanents, not just creatures. Like, that's sick. So I even put one in the main deck. Yeah, 80 cards is kind of sketch. We'll see if 34 lands is right for that. Also, Esper, to me. Oh, I didn't fix the lands, that's right. Someone in Caleb's Discord submitted an Esper deck, which I think it's pretty good, because there's some good cards in there. You got your Atraces, Oath of Kaias, stuff like that. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of these are playable. This makes Birth Meletus a lot better. And really the only place I see our card quality really dwindling is like Deputy of Detention. Maybe, yeah, that's really it. Most of this is cards you'd play in like the in the main deck of the just blue-white version anyway. So I'll fix the land in this, obviously, when I import it. But, yeah, didn't know if it was worth... If there was a trial land for Esper, I'd probably be more likely to try that out, which we will. But, yeah, seeing if that's worth it. Also just a fun challenge. But then we got the Sultai build of the deck, too, where you can take advantage. You know, if there's an ETB deck, I gotta have me some Yaroks. So we got fun stuff like Acolyte of Affliction, Agent of Treachery, Uro, Cloud Concealers. So we got an overlap between Elemental and Yarok ETB triggers, along with Yorion to blink them all. And then you got your, you know, I want to try out some Fiend Artisan too. We had 80 cards, so I had some extra space to fill. So I'm like, oh, maybe like a 1 of Healer, 1 of Lazav to clone Yarok or something like that. A Plague Crafter to fetch up. You can fetch up the other Yorion. So also just seeing how good Fiend Artisan is in a deck like this. Without stuff to like mill over. Don't know if he'll be good enough. He'll probably just be a 1/1, but, you know, who knows? That deck will take a lot of construction, but it's a fun, just quick little build I made. Next one. Don't think this is optimized at all, but it's just something I threw together. Abzan Humans is a deck I'm definitely going to want to play. But wanted to go to one extreme of the human synergies, or if you should just go, you know, mid-range with some human payoffs. So we got Hero Precinct 1, which will help us go wide. General Enforcer will also help us make some tokens. And then we got Icon of Ancestry and General Kudro to pump them up. Yeah, we're going deep on this, bro. Mythos of Nethroi, because if you're Abzan and not playing this, what are you doing? Cheville also requires some non-exile removal, so while I do like Dire Tactics, Mythos is just so good. Unfortunately, it does not trigger Hero, and that's where I think a lot of the problems come in. Because I like Order of Midnight as, you know, recursive threat that works well with humans. Works really well with Kogla, because then you return it to your hand to get another sorcery, Alter Fate trigger casting. But you got Icon of Ancestry, Mythos, Kogla, and Order of Midnight are not multicolor spells for Hero. So don't know how much a problem that's going to be. But, I mean, he also helps you get triggers off of Hero by bouncing stuff like, I don't know, Kudro and Cheville and stuff like that. And then we got Vraska and Sorin. It's just ways to get back threats, and Vraska a way to take advantage of the Cheville removal stuff. Just, yeah. Yeah. Seeing how far you can go on this. But I think there's definitely going to be some better versions of Abzan. Just want to test it out. And then we got the Luca combo, which you saw in Versus Live, so I'm not doing anything crazy here, but wanted to see if Fire Prophecy was good enough as a way to put Endrace Forerunners back in your deck in case you draw it. And then you also have Improbable Alliance to loot it into your graveyard to get rid of a dead card. But also put in some Dovins. I thought he might be pretty decent, you know. We'll see, we'll see. He's probably gonna be pretty weak, but that's why we're testing it, man. That's why we're testing it. Yeah, nothing special here. Just a way to sneak out Endry's Forerunners with Luca and all these tokens. And then an alternate way to win with Sarkhan because you have a bajillion Planeswalkers. So, yeah, guys, those are the decks looking. Let me know if there's any cards you want me to try out instead, any obvious things I should be changing, any deck lists you want me to try, or just ideas. Don't know if I'll be able to fit them in because I do have to stream. I do work the day of the stream, so it'll probably only be, 3.5-ish hours. So, but we'll get as much as we can in. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you will enjoy the stream in 2 hours from now. And hope you have a good one. Adios.